that came up a bit quicker than I thought. Hello, everybody. I do hope you are all well. So whether you're with me live, perhaps you're watching me a little bit later on because you're busy. Either way, give me a thumbs up. Pop me a note in the comments so I know you are present with me. Also, be really interesting to see who's on Facebook, who's on YouTube, because we are streaming right across both of them. So I've got all these little banners up. There we go. Hello, Carrie. Carrie is first in the house tonight. So we'll just wait for a few more to come on board. I have to confess, I was sneakily watching something called Honeymoon Island. And when I saw the ads, I'm like, oh, that looks rubbish. Why would I want to watch anything like that? And I have to confess, I watched one episode just while I'm doing a little bit of work in the background, and I'm a little bit hooked. It's a bit like my guilty secret. Has anybody else watched it? Or is it just me being a bit of a saddo? But it's actually quite gripping viewing, shall I say. Honeymoon Island. So basically they team up a couple and send them on Honeymoon Island. They don't actually officially marry them, but they do a little ceremony, an unofficial ceremony. So yeah, I was watching that. How are you all? What have you all been up to? Been out for my usual bike ride. Hasn't it turned chilly? Really chilly, but so beautiful and sunny. So let's have a little look at what we're going to make tonight. So last week we did this little nugget, which was with Crystal Rondelles, also that one. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Carol. So that's what we did last week. Now, just to say, the Crystal Rondelles are still on special offer. You can do this pattern with smaller ones as well. Don't delay in getting them because the Crystal Rondelles will come off very soon at that price. Okay, so do stock up. Now, tonight we are going to do the same pattern but in a necklace, which you might say, well, isn't it the same? No, it's not. It's not the same because what you need to do is you need to be able to get the curve in. So you have to adjust the pattern so it's longer on the outside, shorter in the inside. Now, I'm going to show you the easiest route, but it's a little bit like going down the M4. You have to take a bit of a 5-10 mile detour to get there, but you get there quicker. Does that make sense? So whilst you're seeing this, you might think, actually, when I do it, I could miss out that step and do this. That's fine. What I'm going to show you is the way that I think is easier to understand, i.e., while I'm trying to practice to show you, if it gets a bit confusing for me, I mix it up and simplify it. So that's exactly what I've done. So without further ado, let's go on the overhead and get stuck in. Question for you all as well. Has anybody tried the bracelet pattern from last week? If you have, do make sure that you share it in our Beaders group. Right, okay, let's go on the overhead. Right, so this is our necklace. There's our bracelets. Let's zoom in a wee bit more. There we go. If we start from the top, now what did I do with those? Oh, there they are. They're right under my nose. Let's talk you through what you need. Now, I'm not going to do a full necklace tonight because you don't need to see me do a full necklace. We'll just do maybe sort of a half length of it because it'll still be the same process. You're going to need 2 size 10 beading needles. You're also going to need some thread, either Nymo, Mayuki thread, Wildfire, whatever floats your boat, but you're going to have a needle on each end. Now, what I find easier to do with this is actually pin it to the top of your mat. So some of you would have got these when you've bought strands from me. Oh gosh, I can't pick it up with my nails. Right, these little things. So I'm just going to attach that to the top. And let's talk you through our materials today. So we've got our 4mm metal beads, 2 different colour 5x6 rondelles, but you can use any rondelles you like. You're just going to have to adjust some of the bead sizes in the middle. We've got your clasp and we've got your extender. So we're going to do two of the 4mm either side, like so. And then we'll have one of our crystals, and we're just going to cross over the other side. Hello, Jan. Thank you for joining. Nearly missed us. I'm glad you're here. So there we go. That's just how we started before. I'm managing to stitch some of my hair in. Let me just pin my hair back a bit. And I'm just going to reinforce and go back round just to make it a wee bit stronger. So what projects are you all on at the moment, or are you having a break? Have you got any projects lined up? Now, I've received my parcel in the post today from Jewellery Maker for my next show. So that's going to be my next creation. Now, what we're going to do first of all is add 2 of our rondelles either side, like so. There we go. And then, can you see, we're just going to add 2 beads. Now, these beads here, we're going to actually add that in after. The reason why is because it gets very confusing to do it the other way around. So I'm just going to cross my needles like so. Jan says she's got her big beads to do a chunky necklace. She loves them. They're beautiful, aren't they? Such a gorgeous, gorgeous finish on them. And then we're just going to reverse the formation of the rondelles. So I've got 2 of the same colour either side, one either side. What you probably find easier to do on this one is after the live, when you're ready, is go into YouTube. You can zoom in and pause it. So we're just going to crisscross. Excuse me. But do let me know how you all best learn. Now, this is how it differs to the bracelet. Now, on the bracelet, because you want a flat edge, keep it the same either side, but not on this one. So if we look here, we have got seed beads either side, but we're going to add those in afterwards. We're going to add 2 4mm metal on the right and 1 on the left. And what that does is that creates the curve. So that makes it shorter in the inside, longer on the outside. There we go. 1 on the left, 2 on the right. And then I'm going to bring in my other colour. and crisscross. Like you say, Jan, YouTube is so good for pausing, and so you can pace yourself. You could watch it on your telly if you want to. I find it easier if you're on your phone because you can zoom in a lot easier. Then we're going to add one either side. I do love this green and gold combo. Okay, and then we're now going to have our two metal ones. So we're back to this bit in the middle. We're going to cross over. So you can either cross over that way, or I'll show you the other way the next time round. Ultimately, you get to the same destination. So we've got to this point here. It's very repetitive. So now we're going to have two of these, one either side. And then we're going to crisscross one on the bottom. Now this is the other way you can do it. It's just pop that one up there and then just push your needle up. There we go. So we are back to here. So our next move will be two on the right, one on the left. So let's just talk you through the combination. So we start with two on each side, one group of three, two in the middle, an upside down group of three, two on the side, on the right, one on the left. Then you start your pattern again, three, so one crossover, two at the side, two in the middle, your pattern formation, and then we're back here again. So it's just really visually seeing that pattern in your mind's eye, which sometimes I have to confess, I'm a doer. Are you a doer? I have to do it for it to click. And then sometimes I have to draw diagrams as well so that it clicks in even better. But we all learn in so many different ways, don't we? There we go. So this time we've got our two in the middle. And I need to pop some more beads on my mat. But if you've joined us, you're a little bit later on, do pop us a note in the comments. Say hello. Right. You see, that makes sense, Jan, to me as well, is you have to draw out a peyote stitch pattern to understand it. Yeah, I agree. And I don't know how many of you are aware as well that you can purchase an app where you can design your own as well. Those are really good. I have one that I pay for each month. I don't use it enough really, where you can do your brick stitch and your peyote patterns yourself. And it's just a bit like colouring a chart really. And then it produces a word chart for you so that you can manually read it how you want to, as well as doing a visual chart. So Jan says, but once I've done a section, I can just carry on without a pattern. That's excellent. I must admit, because I create so many patterns, I have to watch my own tutorials back because I can't always remember how to do it, particularly things like your macrame. If I've got some different stitches and I'm like, yeah, I remember that. It's whereas maybe some people might be able to do it straight off, but I often have to revisit. So can you see how this is forming? So you've got, can you see you've got two, 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 and two on this side? Got two at the start, then you've got one, one, and one. So what that does is it pulls it in. So all okay so far? Do let me know. Just switch that over. We want that to the right. That's another good shout. Jan prints off empty peyote and brick stitch charts to colour in. You can get books from Amazon as well. I've got a book. That's really quite a useful way of doing it. Or you can actually just print it blank sheets off from the internet. Hello, Carol. Carol on YouTube. Lovely to have you join, Carol. So one either side. Anybody else liking this colour combo, or is there another colour combo that you're thinking of doing as we're going into autumn? I do love this. It reminds me of sort of an ancient Egypt vibe with the bright green and the golds. Very, I don't know, soothing and autumnal colours. Bit sunshiny at the same time. But I do like bright colours. Anybody else into their bright colours? I know Nikki is. She's not with us tonight. Couldn't find you on Facebook. Oh, right, okay. It's on the Facebook page, not the group. Jan is loving the colour combo. I'm glad you like it. Now, I've done a lot of teaching with children, mainly teenagers. I've taught every year for probably the last, I'd say 10 years at Marlborough College when they open up for summer school. And I'm not even sure if it's going to happen anymore, which is really sad. They had a break last year from it. But where I was going with this anyway was the fact that I love the fact that with younger, with teenagers, with younger children, they don't have the same, how can I put it? I'm just trying to think of the right words to use. They don't have the same hesitation that we do with colours, where we think, oh, that's not going to go. I'm not feeling the vibes with that. Instead, they've just got this natural instinct to go, I really like that. And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And it works. It really works. And sometimes you think, seriously, you're putting those colours together? But yeah, they work. And I love that, because I do think sometimes we can overthink things with colours. So are you seeing the pattern? There we go. So just in case you're new on here, so we've got two in the middle per two groups, and every two groups we've got two on the side, on the right, one on the left. So that's going to create our curve. Now we're doing okay for time, so I'm just going to carry on for a little bit. We've got a few more people joining us, which is really lovely. So please do make sure, if you are with us, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, do give us a thumbs up, pop us a comment. Perhaps you want to, just sit from the back. That's absolutely fine, but still pop us a comment. And I'm thinking most of you that are on here have done some needle and thread work before. two one side, one the other. But I think a lot of the time with learning a new pattern is if you can get a pattern ingrained in your mind, it's a lot easier to understand. Sometimes it can be a little bit challenging when you're talking and demonstrating at the same time. You want to try it. It's not always easy. Jan says, say hello, ladies, otherwise it looks like I'm stalking Rachel. You carry on, Jan. I appreciate you. I do. We like to have a chat, don't we, Jan? We all like to have a chat. And if you've got any ideas as we're going along, maybe you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh, okay, I wonder how that would look with this type of bead, this size bead. Say it, because chances are somebody else is thinking exactly the same, and try it. That's the best way of creating patterns. I mean, if you saw the amount of time, I'm just opening up one of the other strands. We love a chat, don't we, Jan? We all love having a chat about just general things. Right, there we go. So if you can see something else that you think, oh, I wonder if that would work. There we go. Jan's saying, I wonder if that would work with bicone beads. This is it. And I would say, give it a go. The amount of times I make something for one of the lives, or perhaps I make something for Jewelry Maker, there's some hours in there. I don't suddenly rock up and it's like, oh, here we go. We've got a new necklace for you this week. I only did it 10 minutes ago. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. So when people say you make it look easy, that really is nice. It's a nice feeling because that's what you want. But don't forget, I've always been in the same place as everybody else, which is starting a new pattern. And that's what I try and keep in my mind when I'm learning a new pattern. And I try and keep in my mind, okay, what difficulties am I experiencing with this pattern? What have I had to undo? Why has that happened? And that helps me to teach, because I've gone through the same experience as you, is, well, that's a bit faffy. Why wouldn't you try it that way? But I'm sure you could probably all come up with ways that I do them that you think, actually, why didn't you do it that way? That'd be much quicker. And quite often, if I redo my videos, I will change it, mix it up next time because I found a better way of doing it. Hello, Carrie. Carrie is so busy doing things for Christmas. I must try and make time to try this one. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not difficult. I mean, look, I've only been going for less than 20 minutes and already we've got quite a bit going on here. So let's just move that up. But there's nothing, I don't think there's anything complicated in this. It's just patterns. So do let me know, what type of learner are you? Do you have to watch it a few times and then do it? Or do you find are you like me? You get all the materials out and try it, pause it, try it, pause it. But I also find I have to write things down as well. That helps. And diagrams, but quite often I can't understand my own diagrams afterwards. Jan says, oh, a Christmas theme, red, green, gold and clusters. Oh, I'm liking that. It could be like a holly and ivy. Like you could have red berries. You could have red berries in the centre, or you could have green in the centre for leaves and red on the outside. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to make this my last little cluster, and then I'm going to show you how we go about doing the last part. Jan says she watches them lives, then puts the video again and make along. Yeah, it's so you're similar to me. I also think it's quite nice having that interaction as well. And I know a lot of people say, well, I can't actually watch a live and do it at the same time. You know, when we've done our Wednesday bead alongs, it's like, well, actually, no, that doesn't work for everybody. Oops. So Carrie says she stops and pauses. And just to say, next Thursday, if I've got the date right, is our auction day. Got so many goodies, so many new gems. Oh gosh, we've lost a few of you. Hopefully I'm not boring the pants off you all. Right, here we go. So we're just going to finish it off the other end. So we're going to do 2 one side and 2 the other side. Yes, I love the auctions too. They're good fun. Even got some amber in this one. Right, let's go back round there. Just reinforce that. Right, let's just tighten some of these bits up a little bit. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back along here and, right, let's turn this over. Let's work it back this way. So first of all, we're going to pop a size 11 seed bead. So this is the inner part. I'm going to add a seed bead and then go through that rondelle there. And then we're going to add 2 seed beads and go through the next one. And then we're going to add 1 seed bead, go through the 4mm metal and add a seed bead the other side and go through the rondelle. Like so. And then we start our pattern again. So 2 seed beads. And what this does is it pulls it in on the inside. So the pattern is 2, 1 through a metal, 1 through the metal. There we go, 1 through the metal. Now, can you see that we could have done that from the outset, but it wouldn't be easy. Would not be easy at all. And can you see how that's pulling that in as well? So the next one is 2. And can you see how that curve is starting to form now? 1 seed, go through the metal bead, 1 seed, go through the rondelle. So the combination is 2 seed beads together, then 1 through the bead, metal bead, 1 through the next bead. Now you shouldn't have to do anything on the bottom. All okay so far? You see how that curve is starting to form. So Carrie, and anybody else that's watching, have you got some Christmas fairs booked? And when do they start? And what are you making? Haven't done any Christmas fairs for quite a few years now, only because I haven't got time to do them and to make stuff. All takes time, doesn't it? There we go. And how quick was that? I mean, that's over half the size of the necklace, and we've done it in a really quick time. What you could also look at with this as well is you could always look at doing some embellishments at the bottom where you've got gaps here. You know, you could use some of the different check shaped beads, some of the daggers, or, you know, you could have a little play around with different combinations, different styles. Carrie says, just one beginning of December. She's been making my star earrings. Oh, excellent. Right. There we go. Let's just take this off. Now, the star earrings, they're on YouTube, aren't they, Carrie? There we go. So what I would do now is actually tie off. So you go underneath some of the threads, tie a knot. Do that in 3 different places. Jan is saying you could do some danglies around the middle of the necklace. Absolutely. You know, it's once you've made it and the foundation of it, I think you would probably start seeing some different designs on there in your mind. You think, oh, actually, I can try that. And then before you know it, you've created and designed your own unique pattern. So you can either cut the thread with scissors or use your little thread zapper. And then we'll just tie off the other side as well. Hello, Linda. Thank you so much for joining. So, Linda, we're just coming to the end of it, which is just really moving on from last week's pattern. It's just looking at how you can adapt last week's pattern to create the curve in the necklace. And also we were just talking about putting your own lilt on it, the fact that you can create a few more little dangles and bits and pieces in the gaps, which I will show you in a second. Right. Oh. Sorry I'm late. I just picked up Olivia. No problem at all. Oh, how's Olivia enjoying school? She has started school, hasn't she? Just goes so quick, doesn't it? Right, there we go. There is your shortened necklace. So you got your clasp on there. And as you can see, unlike this one, so this one, you could still have some movement there, but you'd get some bulk in the middle. It wouldn't sit quite right. So that is your bracelet. So it's the same top and bottom, whereas this one, you've got more detail on the outside than you have on the inside. And as you can see, you've got some gaps here and here, also here. So you could always add some little scoops in there, some little designs. Like Jan says, you can have a Christmas vibe going on there as well. So let's just go front facing. Linda says she's loving it. It's so cute coming home with the sounds of the letters. Oh, how adorable. There we go. That's our necklace. And that was just done in what, about 30 minutes. So perhaps if you do have some Christmas presents to make, maybe a Secret Santa, or you are creating something for your jewelry store, have a look and see what colors are on trend, so that you can pick out some colors where, you know, they go with the latest clothes and so on. And this was the full necklace. That was with, I think that was the reddy coloured sort of burgundy beads and the grey ones. You don't even have to have two different colours in it. You can just have a block of colour if you want to, or you can go multicolour. It's entirely up to you. Play around with the different sizes, play around with the different ones in the middle of it as well, and do make sure you share it in our Beaders group, Beaders of Beads by Vachil. Linda said she's loving it. Oh, sorry, I did read that already. I'm having a moment. Just as well to say, thanks to everybody that is able to come to the Beading Social as well in October. It's your last opportunity up till Tuesday to get one of our free gemstone chakra bracelets. So if you book before the 30th of September, you get one of those free per person that you book on. And we're very much looking forward to it. I've done a little video on there as well, which is also on YouTube as well. So do make sure you hop on over to the Facebook group as well. And don't forget, you have got over 180 tutorials in my YouTube channel. So if you are looking for some inspiration, do make sure you check that out. And if you could subscribe, that would help me no end. Anyway, we're a bit early tonight. Oh, thank you, Linda. It's a great video, says Linda. And of course, our lovely Linda and the team are going to be there as well. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Take care, enjoy creating, and see you for our auction next week.